Hello folks, well my Numatic family has grown again. They must be breeding because I have another Numatic Henry to show you, but one that's a little bit harder to get hold of, certainly in the UK, because this is model HVN200. It is a Henry Next, but what's different about this? It's not the traditional red colour. This is, hopefully, if it's the correct one in the box, this is a purple Henry. Now, Numatic have produced purple vacuum cleaners before. I seem to remember a purple James being sold exclusively at index stores in the UK. That's quite a rare model. But this one was available, I believe, sometime, well, it's available now, if you're prepared to pay a bit more for it. This came from Amazon.de, that's German Amazon, and I think the Netherlands got this machine, although they might have got it in Germany as well. But as far as I know, the UK didn't officially get a purple Henry, although we have got a Henry Next, I think it could be called Henry Plus, from John Lewis, which has all the same tools, I believe, as this model. So let's have a look at the tools, because this is something that's different with this particular model. And yes, I think, right, I'm quite relieved. I think this is the carpet and floor nozzle that came before the one that you can currently get with the Numatic cleaners, which I've said before I don't like. Yes, it's slightly different. I've got some like this, but they're a bit wider. But personally, I prefer this nozzle. It is a Wisselwerk branded nozzle, I believe. I don't know if you can quite see, there's a little bit of branding under the pedal. So this is your basic carpet and hard floor nozzle. Brushes up for carpets, press the pedal, brushes down for hard floors. One row of brushes at the front and a squeegee at the back. So that's your main nozzle. We have a different nozzle as well. Now I believe this is for carpet and hard floors, and I'm not really sure why it's included. But yes, this can be used on both carpets and floors. It's just a very basic nozzle with some flexible strips, litter pickers, a couple of small roller wheels and larger wheels at the back. Quite a low profile, so it'll get under low furniture. So that's the second nozzle you get with this particular model. Inside this green bag will be the familiar small cleaning tools, pretty standard. Let's open them up. So you get crevice tool. That's your adapter, so you can connect any of the tools directly to the end of the hose without using the hose handle. That's a slide-on brush for the upholstery nozzle, which is here. And finally, we have the dusting brush. So that's all your small tools. Then we have a hose, of course. Nice length of hose there. This is the curved handle piece incorporating a suction relief valve. Then we have a single metal extension wand. And here's where it gets a little bit different. Instead of another single extension wand, well, it is a single one, but this one is telescopic. But not very telescopic, a little bit telescopic, so you can adjust the height slightly. Now if we have this fully open, we can see it is actually quite a bit longer than the standard one, so you can go higher than a standard Henry. When it's collapsed down, it is about the same, so it will give you a bit of extra reach. If you've got high ceilings, you need to clean out the cobwebs. But it will also compact down. You can use either on its own if you want to use that on its own. for your upholstery. You've got that slight adjustment. I would have liked to see a single telescopic wand, as you get with many cylinder vacuum cleaners nowadays. But anyway, it's a step in the right direction, but strangely enough, the UK don't get this, apart from the John Lewis exclusive model. As far as I know, at the moment, at the time of making the video. Here we've got the instruction book. This is Hetty next and Henry next. It's pretty standard instructions for pneumatic cleaners. And look at that rainbow of colours available. I think we'll be looking at that purple one in a minute. Less than a minute, in fact, because it's almost time for me to give birth to yet another Henry. Right. Not literally, of course, that would be quite wrong. But before, we'll just keep the suspense up a little bit longer and just see. We get one spare bag, HEPA flow bag, of course, tough fabric bag, lasts for ages, little silicone seal to keep the dust in, and a flap as well you can close over after you've removed the bag from the machine and dispose of all the dirt. So come on, Henry, it's time to see your new home. There he is, look at him in that purple, you look a bit strange. Here he is, the Henry Next, and 200 denotes the fact that this is a full-sized Henry. It's not a 160 compact, it is the full-sized 9-litre capacity Henry. And he looks very happy to be out of that box. But of course, because I imported this from the Amazon German website, we don't have a UK plug. We've got a German or a European plug on the end. That doesn't matter though, because it uses the same voltage as a UK machine, so I could just cut this off if I wanted to and fit a standard 3-pin plug. Or in my case, I'm going to use an adapter that I can simply plug this 2-pin plug into the 3-pin adapter. So I'll be able to use my new Henry straight away. Here he is, looking very pleased with himself, with his purple body. I don't know how my other Henrys are going to take to him. Obviously, most of those are red. I've got a blue Henry as well, of course, in the Henry Allergy. And we've got Henry Hound, who's green, but I think they're going to look with a bit of suspicion on purple Henry. But I quite like him. He's a bit different, isn't he? And I think having the switch at the front, it's not a big deal, is it? But it seems a bit easier to have the switch at the front of Henry rather than at the back. As a standard Henry, Hetty, most pneumatic cleaners have the switch and the mains on light at the back of the machine, but on the next version it's at the front. Just a single speed rocker switch and a mains on light there. And of course we've got the flex rewind 10-meter cable, very long cable, so you can plug Henry into a plug downstairs, and most homes you'll be able to clean the whole downstairs without having to find another outlet to plug in Henry. And of course we've got the traditional cord rewind manual. Keeps all the cord tucked away inside the motor unit. And of course on the back here we've got storage for the small cleaning tools, a parking slot as well. So there's no surprises with this machine. If you've watched a lot of my Henry videos, my pneumatic videos, you'll see that they do share most of the same features. So we can park the carpet and floor nozzle, and of course this nozzle as well that comes with this particular version, that will also park in the slot. And we can pop the tools. There are only 2 holes, But you can put more than 2 cleaning tools on this, as I've shown in the past. We can double up a bit and use the crevice tool and pop one of the other nozzles on top and have it like this. Now, one advantage of having the switch at the front, when you do this on a standard Henry or Hetty, it can often get in the way of the switches, having the tool stored like this. But of course, with this version, the switches are at the front, so doing that doesn't matter. I'll just take them off for now. For any of you interested, we'll have a quick look at the sticker on the motor unit. So this Henry runs on 220 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz. It has a 620 watt motor. We've got serial number 211701538, 8 kilograms, model number HVN204-11. Now, I've forgotten how we date this. I'm not sure if this is actually from, this could be from 2021, so relatively new. I think, I always forget how you date these, but I think the 21 at the beginning of the serial number does denote the year, and the following number denotes the week, so week 17 of 2021. I believe this particular Henry came off the production line. I don't think we're going to find any surprises under the motor unit. Pretty standard. Of course, we've got the large filter, just the standard filter with this machine, and one HEPA flow bag fitted. There you go. As I say, very large bags. Always buy genuine pneumatic bags. They don't cost very much at all. Widely available. Go for the HEPA flow ones, much stronger than the cheaper paper alternatives. So we'll just pop the bag back on. Henry is a very simple machine, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Henry is simple, but he'll just do the job. If you just want a machine that will do the job and keep a happy smile on his face, then get a Henry. If you don't want all the bells and whistles, you want something made in Britain that's going to last you a good many years, get a Henry, folks. So there we are. Pop Henry's motor unit back on. We'll have a listen to him. Pull out all the flex. In fact, that took me longer than normal. I have a feeling that it might have a 12 meter. Sorry, Henry, I keep forgetting you are a male, you're not an it. Henry might have a 12 meter cable. I'll check on that before the end of the video. I'll just check the specifications in the instructions. But yes, it did seem to take me a little bit longer to pull out all of this cable. So to use this particular Henry, I'm going to use this little adapter. You can buy these cheap enough on Amazon or online stores. It's got a fuse built in, so you just have to plug in the fitted plug on the end of the cable, and then I can plug this into my socket. He is in the off position. Okie dokie. And we can see just on the top there, these red lights come on. That will always stay on, just to show you that Henry's plugged in. Okay, Henry, it's time for you to speak for the very first time. Well, Henry, you've got a very soft sounding voice, haven't you? You're very quiet. Let's attach your nose so you can sniff out dirt. Well, you won't find much dirt in my home at the moment, but maybe one day I'll give you some extra food, who knows? So we've got the hose attached. Very efficient motor inside a Henry. 620 watts, but giving you decent suction. I think it measures around 80 on my suction gauge. And talking of my suction gauge, I do have it here. So we will double check, see what the suction's like at the end of the hose, and I'll also need the little adapter because the hose end is angled, as you can see. And it's angled because as you're cleaning, so normally when you're cleaning your carpets and floors, you'll have the curved handle on plus the extension wands. So you're normally cleaning, you might spot a bit of dirt in the corner you can't reach. Just take the hose off and you can actually use the end of the hose because it's angled just to grab that little bit of dirt that's hiding away. But of course for cleaning cars, and Henry is very good for cleaning cars, you don't want to attach the handle because it can restrict the movement in a tight space, not just a car, any tight space you're cleaning. So the adapter, that's why we have the adapter, so we can put the small tools, or in fact any of the tools. You can pick, if you want to, you can put the bigger nozzle on the end. You don't have to put a small tool. You've just got a little bit more flexibility. So I'm going to leave on the adapter. So we've got a nice seal, and we'll see. So I'd be very surprised if this Henry Next doesn't reach to 80 on my suction gauge. Well, I'd say that Henry Next peaked at around 82, very close to 80, but I did see the needle go to 82. So very good, Henry. You've passed the test with flying colours. Well, folks, I have checked the instruction book for you, and I can confirm that this Henry has a longer cable. In fact, it's 12.5 meters, which is very, very long. Most houses you won't have to plug this machine in again for downstairs. In some houses you might even be able to clean some of your upstairs without having to find another socket outlet. There's not many vacuum cleaners in the UK, domestic machines anyway, that have such a long cable. The only other one I can think of with a long cable, a 12 meter cable, is the Sebo D series. So very long cable to reach all around your home. Let's set up Henry for some carpet cleaning. Now this handle can be put on either way. You can have it on that way and you can have it on that way, and that alters the angle and the reach you can get. So I think normally I would have it on that way for cleaning carpets and floors. If you want to reach up a bit higher, you can have, or on tops of units, obviously you can attach one of your wands as well to give you extra reach. But also you can have it the other way around, as far as I remember. It's very versatile. Where's the dusting brush? It's hiding. Here it is. We can pop the dusting brush on onto that side, look, and then use it that way around. So as I said, for cleaning high shelves. And to give you extra reach, of course, we'll pop the wand back on. And the wand does actually go, you can put the wand in this way, you see, directly into the end of the hose. So you've got the curved end on this side. So that enables you, tops of doors, picture rails if you have them in your house, tops of cupboards, especially fitted kitchen cupboards, you can use it at that angle. And of course you can buy additional extra tools if you want to, direct from myhenry.com or myhenry.co.uk. You can buy an extension hose that enables the Henry to reach right up to the top of the stairs. You can buy car clean kits and other different accessories, so you can really extend the use of your Henry. In fact, the Henry takes a standard 32mm tool size, so you'll be able to fit many different tools to Henry. But personally, I normally use just genuine pneumatic tools with my pneumatic machines. As I do with any vacuum cleaner, I tend to use the genuine bags and the genuine accessories. So it doesn't matter which tube goes into which. You can have the extension wand with the adjustment at the top. In fact, that's probably the best place to have the telescopic wand, near the top, because then you don't have to bend so much if you want to make an adjustment. So to have the sort of height you'd get with a standard wand, it's closed, isn't it? Yeah, so if you want to have the standard sort of height, you can just leave the wand closed. But if you're very tall or you just need a bit of extra reach, you can pull on the wand like so, and it'll just stay in place whatever setting you go for, like so. Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to try out, in fact, on my plush pile carpet. I do have this nozzle. I haven't really used it much. I bought it as a separate attachment. I'll see how well this copes, how easy it is to push on this notoriously difficult Saxony carpet. Right, there we go. Let's line up everything. I like to have it all straight. There we are. And we'll try it first of all. We'll try Henry with the suction control in the closed position. There's a little plus and minus, so to reduce the suction you can turn the valve to the minus position, but for maximum suction just make sure it's closed. Okay Henry, let's give you a go. That certainly gets the heart pumping. Yeah, this particular nozzle, it's not impossible, but it is quite hard to push on maximum, but it's not so hard that you can hardly move it like some of the vacuums I've shown you. I'm going to try it with the suction relief valve open in the minimum position. Much easier to push on this plush pile carpet. So that's one option we have with this particular Henry. It's actually picked up some of my dog's hair on the litter picker there. We can put on the standard nozzle. Now this nozzle isn't supplied now. If you buy a traditional Henry, a new model, you might find a slightly different version, which I don't particularly like. The best version, in my opinion, was the version that you could get with the pneumatic John & Lewis, available from John Lewis. Slightly wider than this, but it also had a metal base plate. This is plastic, as most of them are nowadays. Let's try this on maximum suction again. Quite hard to push, slightly harder than the previous nozzle. Let's open up the vent. That's a lot easier now. Now of course we can improve this Henry next by adding the turbo nozzle. That's another optional extra you can buy from myhenry.com. Normally the cheapest way is to buy the additional kit that includes a full-size turbo nozzle, a mini turbo nozzle and a dedicated hard floor head. Sometimes there's special offers when you buy a Henry. You might get that as a free gift. Certain retailers might give you money off that. I think Argos normally allow you to buy a Henry and the additional turbo toolkit for half price. But I would always recommend it, especially if you've got lots of carpet, if you've got pets, Henry is greatly improved by adding at least the full-sized turbo nozzle for your carpet cleaning. I think Henry is a little bit hungry because obviously he was born in the UK, was shipped over to Germany and then shipped back to the UK where he was born, and I think he's happy to be home, but he is hungry. I haven't got a lot of dirt at the moment, but I have got a lot of these. In fact, yes, don't worry Henry, I don't think you're going to be eating all of that because, well, we never know. This does look, these packaging peanut things, I think these are, it's rather a lot for him to eat, but he does look very hungry. I'll see how he copes. See if you can manage to eat all that, Henry, but I don't think so. I think you're going to be full before you finish this huge meal before you. Well folks, I think Henry sounds a bit full, and I have to admit I've cheated a bit because, and this is the only time I would use Henry without a bag. I would always use Henry with his bag, but when I used Henry with his bag, well, he started off quite well, but then it started clogging up. These are rather large bits for Henry to pick up unless I crush them into smaller pieces, but I think even Henry's belly's full without a bag in place. He's coped quite well. Oh dear. Look what Henry, he's absolutely obliterated some of this. The force of Henry's suction has turned some of these packaging peanuts into almost fake snow. Well, that would have been useful over Christmas. Wow, he's very full. I think he regrets it now. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to have to oh, he got a bit clogged up as well, look. Going to have to spend some time using another vacuum to pick up all this, and obviously he's going to have to clean Henry's filter a bit. Well, that didn't work out very well folks, but really Henry, your belly wasn't big enough to cope with all this dirt. This was just a little bit of fun to show you Henry in action. Obviously Henry is designed to pick up normal household dust and dirt and not very large packaging. But anyway, I've made rather a mess, but at least I've got Henry to clean up the mess. So I think it's onto the compost heap with these, because these are biodegradable packaging peanuts. They'll just dissolve in water. So I'm going to pick all these big bits up, but we're going to be left with quite a lot of fine packaging here that it's snowing, look. Fantastic. Should have done this at Christmas time. Well, let's get rid of the big bits and then fit the carpet and floor nozzle and pick up all these small pieces, but obviously with a bag installed. Well, there you go, folks. That's the Henry Next 200 in lilac. If you want basically the same machine with the same specifications, same toolkit, same 12.5 meter cable, you can pop over to John Lewis and buy the Henry Plus. I think that's on offer at the moment. At the time of making this video, I think it's about £130, and you'll get basically this machine, but in the more traditional red colour. Now, a lot of people say, what's the difference? Which Henry should I buy? There are only, I'd say, 3 main differences to choose between the various Henrys: the size, the filtration, and the toolkit provided. As far as size goes, this is a 200, which is a bit bigger. I personally prefer the 160 size, which is a more compact version, but with the same suction, it just holds less dirt, 6 litres as opposed to 9 litres. The other differences between filters, there are various different filters you can get. A standard Henry will have the standard filter. One of the pet versions will have an odour reducing filter. If you have allergies, you can go for the Henry Allergy or the Henry Clean Air that has an exclusive HEPA filter on the exhaust, which gives you the cleanest air possible. So if you've got allergies, go for the Henry Allergy or the Henry Clean Air. If you've got pets, go for one of the pet versions. If you just want a standard Henry, just go for the standard Henry. You can always add additional tools as and when you require them. If you have any comments or questions about Henry Next or any of the Henry family, comment below, but don't forget to check out my pneumatic playlist, where you'll see many videos of pneumatic cleaners in action. So until the next time, thanks for watching, and me and Henry will see you again at some point, I expect. Bye for now, and bye from Henry.